Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I was going to say Angels in Action, but welcome to Furball Friday. I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Larkin. Here is Gray, and there's Jackie and Billy. They're all here on the couch with me. So we all welcome you to Furball Friday. Thank you for tuning in and joining us for this special broadcast that we have once a week, and it is to honor non-human animals. Why do I say that? Because like it or not, we are animals. You're either a plant or an animal, and we oftentimes forget that. Some religions have tried to tell us that this isn't the case, but actually it is. So I refer to non-human animals so that you guys know that for this hour, we are going to be sharing wisdom, readings, and guidance from the non-human animal world. I'm trying to keep Gray here so you can see him. This is Gandalf the Gray, and he always jumps up with me when I have a broadcast, especially Furball Friday, even if it's on a Saturday. So for this hour, guys, we talk about animals and only animals, non-human animals, because often they get left to the wayside. However, if you are on any of my other broadcasts, you are always welcome to talk about and ask questions or for readings from non-human animals. Okay. But today is just focusing on them. We're going to do animal communication. We can do mediumship. We can do, animal totems, signs and messengers, power animals, questions about animals and dreams, anything non-human animal related. But again, on any of my other broadcasts, you're always welcome to ask about non-human animals. Okay. So while we're waiting for people to log on, hi, Natalie. Welcome from Canada. I love it. And Gandalf. You missed when you, hi, Angie. Welcome. When you guys go back on the replay, you both missed the first few seconds of this. Pumpkin, be nice. Pumpkin's coming over now too. You can, in the very beginning, like the first minute, I scrolled over and I showed you all the animals I had on the couch with me at that time. They tend to hop up and want to join in the energy. So let's take a few moments to slow things down as we get up and running. This is very important so that we can become more present and tune in to our higher frequencies, to our more conscious selves, that observer behind our thoughts. I like to do that again. We can do this together. I have a couple of drinks. I actually have water over there as well. And I like to light my incense and my candles. Today I have Nag Champa from the Ganeshi sticks, which again is my really one of my favorite brands. It's one of the least expensive that I think has the least chemicals and things in it. That's the most authentic. That is easy to get a hold of. These are just wonderful. Plus, I love Ganesh, but here's my little handy dandy incense holder. So we're going to light this to set the mood and the ambiance. That is so important, guys, no matter what you're doing. If you are praying or journaling or writing your intentions like my coaching clients, or you're just journaling, or whatever it is you're doing, it's very important to set the mood and the ambiance. That is very important because it really affects you as a human being. It affects your frame of mind, your mood, your vibration, your perception. It affects all of that. And this does not mean that you have to have crystals, candles, incense. You don't need to have all that. For me, I enjoy those things when I'm home, and I use them as a good example to help inspire and guide those who are listening to do that, because it can be very helpful. Remember, the other side does not have an issue with our communication, our interaction. It's easy for the other side, right? I won't say easy. It's not always easy. They receive easily from us, effortlessly. It's harder for them to work with us because we aren't as open to receiving. So, and there's Jackie. Little Jackie. So this is one of the ways in which you guys can make it help to bridge the connection between you and the other side. And it's one of the ways that you can help yourself to get in a perception and mindset mode that allows you to be more open. Because messages, whether it be from spirit guides, angels, animals, your higher self, are always coming through for us. The question is, how open to receiving are we, right? How open to receiving are we? All right, so I'm going to also light a candle. I'm going to put this in my big candle holder right now because this candle burnt out. These are wonderful. But again, guys, to me, a flame, fire, really represents my connection to other worlds. My connection. Hi, Paul. Welcome. My connection to other worlds, connecting the dimensions together, linking communication. You know, fire is like a beautiful representation of physical yet non-physical, right? So I love to have the candles. Now, like I was saying, you guys don't have to do all of this to set a mood or an ambiance. If you're traveling, or like when I'm at the barn and I am, you know, broadcasting from the barn, I don't use any of this stuff. I don't need it, but I've been doing this like every day for years. I found other ways for it, but I enjoy that ambiance. I feel like it helps the mood. But, you know, for all of you, if you're home, if it's convenient, if it works, if you have a good place to do it, I highly recommend it. Okay. All right. So let me put this in here and then we will get started. I don't know if this is going to fit in here actually. May not, because that candle's not out of there yet. All right. Let me do this. Want to make sure we're safe because I've got all my animals. So just put the little candle in there and we're good to go. All right. So I want to say hi to everyone, and then I want to get started by sharing a little story with you all, and then we will get going. By the way, I want to remind you, hi, Tanya, welcome. Never saw Disney World. I've only been there once, and I saw Cirque du Soleil for the first time, and I fell in love with it, Paul. I want to say hi. Let's see. I said hi. Natalie, Angie, Tracy, Han. Great to see you. Paul and Tanya. Awesome. So I want to start with a little story first about critters, animals, and then we'll get into your questions and readings. I do want to remind those of you, though, because I have the Meet Your Spirit Guides event that is supposed to be tomorrow at 11. If I don't get a couple more people, I'm going to actually just go ahead and do it for September because I do like to have, I like to have it at least half full. I only take 10 people per month. Usually it is like everyone has amazing results in there, and it's usually like booked out because there are limited spaces. It's a very in-depth, intense, get you to meet your spirit guides in a whole new depth and level event. I am shocked this time. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. Hey, Allison. I am shocked this time that it has not yet filled up. So I just want to remind you guys, the Meet Your Spirit Guides event is supposed to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you're one of those people that on the event has said you were interested or that you're going, but you haven't actually registered, you're not going. Okay. So I do have a few spaces left. Please make sure, if you want to meet your spirit guides tomorrow, if you want them to introduce themselves to you, if you want to walk away having an easier connection with them, knowing what they want and need you to do next in order to have a stronger relationship with them, be able to use them more practically in everyday life, and get validation for who they are, then you need to actually register for it. So just follow the link on my Psychic Medium page, which something happened to the banner here. And you need to actually register, and then I can send you the Zoom link. It's only $40 for 2 hours. So like, you know, for me, I'm practically doing it for free. It's very intense. It's, you know, it's one of a kind. I don't know anyone else that is doing this. So it's pretty awesome. I would watch the video first, the Spirit Guide Saturday video first, if you haven't. But anyway, I don't want people there that don't want to be there. But if you are interested in meeting your spirit guides, just a reminder, you actually do have to register. You're signed up, Allison? Awesome. I think you are the one that signed up. Yes, you of the people that said you were going actually did register. But a lot of people on there are saying that now, Debbie, I will get to messages in a minute, Debbie, but I ask people to please not get on my broadcast and just ask for readings. Please at least get on, say hello, let me know where you're from. And I don't do this to be a nasty person. I do this because I see all these breeders on lives getting on, and people just want a reading. They want what they want. They want an answer for what they want. And they get on, they just suck these readers dry. Just please give me this, tell me this, da 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 da. And A, I don't want to be one of those readers. B, it doesn't help you if you're wanting a reading. It does not help you because you're not in a place of receiving. So, hi, Lisa Joe. Welcome. I'm great. Thank you. I just am welcoming Debbie Peterson and letting her know how I do things on my readings. I want people to take a few moments and decompress and relax and get into our feeling here, get into our sacred space that we're holding, and not just get on and ask for readings. Okay. Because that is coming from a place of need. And I want you guys to come from a place of abundance when you're here so that you're open to receiving. It's a great thing to practice because as a manifesting coach for over 14 years, the way we manifest and we transform is by learning how to shift out of a place of need. Okay. So anyway, so Debbie, yes, we will get to you, but we're only doing non-human animal stuff today. Okay. In case you didn't hear the beginning of this. All right. So let me share my animal story first, and then we'll get going. I just wanted to remind you guys about Meet Your Spirit Guides because I have all these people saying they're going, and I want to make sure they realize they're not going unless they have paid and they will get their Zoom link. You have to have the Zoom link to join us. Okay. Let's see here. I want to get into my animal story. I'm going to star this, Angie. I want to get that. That's great, Debbie. We'll get to you. Spiritual is a very ambiguous word. So we'll get to that too. That's a whole different topic. But this is about animals today, Debbie, just so you know. On Monday, I do Angels in Action. And we do everything. So it's angels, spirit guides, anything metaphysical and spiritual and even paranormal. On Monday and Tuesday, I'm also on, and I do live readings. On Friday is only non-human animals. So Debbie, I would love to read for you and talk to you. I'm also a spiritual coach. So for people wanting to develop their spiritual and intuitive abilities, I actually have an Awakening Your Intuition program. So I'd love to talk to you about all that. I just want to make sure you know that today is about non-human animals only. 1 hour dedicated to just non-human animals. Okay. All right. So I want to, I'll get into your comments. I want to share a little story about animals first, animal story with you, and how just absolutely, how amazing they are. Part of this broadcast is to remind you all that they're our equals. Okay. They're not its. I see online people all the time calling animals its. And we need to remember they're her or hims. They're girls or boys. It's much more respectful to use those pronouns actually than to say thems or its. It's just more respectful. So you guys can be called whatever you want, them, they, whatever. I don't care. But when it comes to animals, it's very respectful because it is a sacred gift to be male or female in incarnation. Okay. It's a sacred gift. You choose to spend this life as one or the other. And so it's a sacred gift. And so, it's interesting because we don't think that non-human animals hear us. We don't think that they can understand us. Just because they don't have our palate and our tongue and our voice box doesn't mean they don't try to communicate with us in their own way. And it doesn't mean that they can't understand us. And they understand us better than you think they do. For each animal and each type of animal, it might be a different style or a different strength. But please know that non-human animals they are as intelligent as we are, but they have some shared forms of intelligence and some different forms of intelligence, okay? They do not have our prefrontal cortex. They cannot do mathematics. They cannot do quantum physics. They cannot do chemistry. They cannot design and build a building, okay? So that type of analytical thinking, non-human animals do not have. They do not have an egoic story like we do, right? So, for example, they don't say, I've been divorced 3 times. I haven't been. I've been married once. But they don't say things like, I've been divorced 3 times and nobody's ever loyal to me and I can't keep a job. And they don't have that story. They wake up each morning or from each nap just in the moment. Okay. So they're more connected to some of the higher forms of intelligence that we've sort of lost, that we've covered up with our ego. Okay. But I just want to share with you guys, like, keep this in mind. Watch your animals. Understand that they know what you're saying, but you might not interpret their behavior or their response as though you know. So you might be saying to an animal, don't go in there, stay here. I keep telling you no. Well, it's probably your fault if they're not listening, because they might have their own reason for their behavior. They do have their own reason, but they can't say back to you, hey, I need to go in here because of this. Or, hey, I keep peeing in your office because of that, right? They can't say that to you, which is why I encourage learning animal communication, okay? So just keep in mind that just because you don't interpret it and understand it does not mean it's not happening. It is happening. And I just want to remind you guys, think about how frustrating it must be and how patient they are with us, that they understand more of what we're communicating than we do of what they're communicating. And they can't speak our language, and we judge and assume they don't know, and they're not as smart as us, and they don't know what we're saying, and they have to do everything we say. And can you imagine that? Can you imagine living with someone like that? And every time you try to communicate or explain, you can't, but you still love them unconditionally? Think about it. So this is what non-human animals go through with us every day. And they are so patient with us. And they are so patient in watching us make mistakes and try to learn and figure things out. Okay. I think that's very important. All right. So I'm sharing that instead of a story because I think that's super important for you guys to know. I'm going to show you one more time what's going on here with me, and then we'll get into your guys' questions. So we have Billy, we have Gray, Gandalf the Gray here. He is always next to me during a broadcast. We have Jackie, and then we have Billy, and then Boo is up in the cat tree. So those are my little critters, and they love to hop on with me, especially during Furball Friday. All right. So let's see here. Let's go through these. Let's see. Paul says, hello, Larkin, Pennsylvania. I'm going to Disney World on Monday and Tuesday. It's my birthday. Never saw it. Oh, I see. Will the plane be safe? Never been on one. Love your puppies. Awesome. All right. So today, Paul, we're actually only doing non-human animal readings. We're not doing regular readings. But yes, you should be fine. I love flying on airplanes. I don't like since 9/11, it's not as fun. It's annoying to go through security. It's annoying to wait and all that. But the actual flying itself, I really enjoy it. So it's a good experience for you to have. Believe it or not, flying is actually safer than driving a car. The reason that you think it's not is because you haven't done it before. So you will be just fine. All right, Debbie, I've got you starred down at the bottom if you're still there. Allison is signed up for the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. Yes, I'm so excited. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't signed up yet and want to meet your spirit guides, it's supposed to be tomorrow at 11. So get your ticket, get your spot. The link's on there. Let's see. Let's see here. Angie, I was wondering if there's a message from Hedwig, my hamster, to help me and emotionally support my 12-year-old daughter, Alice. When he was here, he would bring her great comfort during challenging emotions. Now she is struggling to find healthy coping, and she rejects comfort from me. Yeah, Angie, this is such a good point, actually, especially since we were talking about non-human animal intelligence. And the energy of a non-egoic being is so different, right? Not to say that you're like egoic, but we're humans. We have a human ego. And so it is so amazing how non-human animals and their unconditional love and non-judgment. I know you might be thinking about, I don't judge her, I'm not judgmental, but we as humans, we have this natural element of judgment. Even if we're not being judgmental to someone, one of the ways we survive physically in the wild is through judgment. Okay. And I think this is important, and I'm going to bring through your answer by explaining this. Okay. Non-human animals just are, like the Buddha, like Jesus was, like Eckhart Tolle, like the Dalai Lama, who've learned to be present as human beings. I'm not saying that animals can't judge you once in a while. It's not like they're going to be like, it's not like they're going to be going, like, I don't know how to explain it. And non-human animals can like or not like something you do, but that doesn't mean they're judging you in the way I'm talking about, right? So what I'm referring to is we take judgment to a whole nother level that non-human animals do not, right? So like if you do something unfair to a non-human animal, they will notice that. But if you're human, you'll start judging and labeling, right? Like you'll be like, oh, they're just a nasty person. They're just jealous of me. They're just whatever. Judgments that may not be true. They're just based on our perspective. The animals' judgments are pretty accurate most of the time. So the energy is very different. The non-human animals, the hamster was very non-threatening. So even if you're non-threatening, Angie, your energy is different. The potential for another human is different. Okay. So it's not so much, first of all, Hedwig is there whenever you talk to Hedwig, just like other souls that have crossed over, she can hear you and loves you and, becomes present with you when you start talking to her because she's outside of space and time. But understand too, Angie, that your guidance doesn't just come from Hedwig, right? So Hedwig can bring it, past loved ones can bring it, angels and spirit guides can bring it. And I think this is very important because often the messenger of the messages we need to hear or that we want to hear come from source. So anyone on the other side can bring that and is privy to that information. Even your higher self is privy to that information. Okay. The difference is, who do you want to hear from? So like you want to hear from Hedwig because you want to help your daughter because Hedwig helped your daughter. So your mind goes to Hedwig, right? So yes, Hedwig came in today. Hedwig's energy is right there. But would it have to have been Hedwig? No. If you had said, my grandmother, I want my grandmother to help me with my daughter. What does my grandmother's message have for me? Then that's who you were identifying with, right? But understand that message is not limited just to the hamster, okay? So 2 things. Number 1, I would highly recommend you do the Meet Your Spirit Guides event, Angie. I really would recommend that. And because meeting your spirit guides and getting to know and work with them is going to be able to help you tremendously with your daughter and even to help you recognize and maybe connect with her spirit guides. Okay. I'm just throwing this out there because our spirit guides are here to help us walk through life practically. They have a grounded, slower vibrational frequency. And so they can walk with us through this world. We can connect with them more like we would connect with each other. That's part of the gift of being a spirit guide, is your frequency is actually allowed to be lower than that of other ethereal beings, of those on the other side, just so they can be your guides. Okay. And the more you work with them, the more detailed guidance you can get. So that is something that would definitely help you and your daughter. That's the first thing. I do still have spaces if you want to join it. It's only $40. I mean, you can barely get a pizza for that. And it's 2 hours and it's tomorrow, but you have to register. Okay. It's life-changing. The other thing is, Hedwig says, well, why haven't you gotten her another small, unintimidating animal? Why haven't you gotten her another small, unintimidating animal? Why not get another hamster? And then my question to you is, does this lead us to the issue of guilt and feeling like you shouldn't get another animal? I mean, I'm not sure what the reason is. It may not be the case for you, but that is Hedwig's guidance. Let's see. No, I get it. I had a cat for 21 years. Awesome. I had one that lived to 20. Yeah, absolutely. They do. They get you through the hardest times. And guys, non-human animals can get you through what humans can't, and vice versa, right? The other aspect of that, Angie, is, remember, our non-human animals are extensions of what? They're extensions of nature. And in my coaching, in my readings, you will always hear me emphasize nature, 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 nature. So our pets are like bringing the natural world into our home, but it's also important we go out and spend time in nature, okay? And that's the other part of the guidance that's coming through for you, for your daughter, is allow her to spend time in nature. And here is why. I understand why you asked about Hedwig, Angie. I do know that. I know that that's why, because Hedwig told me that, and that's why I answered your question and I included what you just said in the answer. And that's why I'm saying, when we ask for answers, what I said was, you're asking specifically about Hedwig because you knew that Hedwig helped your daughter and that they had the bond, right? That's what I said when I answered your question. So I don't know if you typed this before or after I said that, but I know that that's why you're asking with Hedwig. And that's why I also use the example of a grandmother, right? We tend to ask for and want answers from the being or the person or the animal or the figure that we associate up. Here we go. We got another troll. I'm gonna advertise you. Hold on, let me get rid of our troll. All right, I'm gonna market her and block her. Okay. So that's why I was saying that I want to share this with you guys, and I'm glad you asked, Angie, because it doesn't make it any less significant who you're asking from. I'm definitely not putting down that you're asking from the hamster. I freaking love that. I actually had a hamster come through for a lady who'd had one as a kid in one of my online readings last year. It was really cool. I'd never had a hamster come through like that before. But what's important is to understand that we feel the desire to ask according to the meaning that we give that person or animal, right? So you wanted to ask because you knew the bond that your daughter had with Hedwig. And that's why you asked about Hedwig. But if that bond had been with her grandmother, or with a gerbil that she had, or a parrot that she had, it would have been that, right? And that's why I'm throwing out there for all of you to understand that that source can come in all different forms, right? And it may even come from loved ones that passed on that you never met, because you have a bond with them you don't realize, okay? So Hedwig's just the bond you recognize with her. And so that's why the first answer that Hedwig gives, and source and spirit and the angels and her spirit guides would give, is that, because they're all on the same page, is Hedwig, okay? Hedwig says, get her another one. Let her feel that bond, right? It's not a replacement, it's helping. And then also get her out in nature. And the reason to get her out in nature is because Nature is the great healer. Nature is the great neutralizer. So whether it's physical, mental, emotional, psychological, no matter what it is we need to heal and transform from, nature neutralizes us. It neutralizes. Oh, sorry, I'm on a live, honey. Bye-bye. You can text. Sorry, my husband called me and I answered by accident. What we need to do is we need to remember that nature, when we're in nature, our internal self, so your daughter's true self, Angie, is the same source energy that nature is. Nature is the perfect neutral physical representation of source energy. Okay. So when we are watching TV in front of our phones, going to school, going to work, sitting in traffic, going to the grocery, going to parties, getting on a sports team, whatever it is we're doing with other people, and we're in a society type setup, we are disconnected from ourselves. When we are in nature, surrounded by nature, it calms our nervous system. So it will calm your daughter's nervous system, which calms her thinking, which transforms the mind and the body, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, right? It slows down the mind and the body. And so this causes healing, reverse of disease, reverse of whatever physical and mental and emotional unhealthy projectiles we've already thrown out there, right? That we're already creating. So, Hedwig, with all of her wisdom, along with her spirit guides and your spirit guides, understand this. Okay. And so those are the two number one things that she would recommend. Along with, of course, I highly recommend you do the Meet Your Spirit Guides. I have several clients that, in an effort to help their children, have done the Meet Your Spirit Guides, or they're coaching clients of mine, and they have gone through that process of actually using their spirit guides to help guide them. Okay. Let's see. Lisa Joe, I'll get to you if you're still on there. Let me finish Angie's thing, because this is very cool. I'm so excited that Angie is asking all this, because this gives so much honor and respect and power to this little hamster soul to make a difference in someone's life. And I'm just so tickled to death that you ask about a hamster, Angie. You just have no idea. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, you did it with me last December. And Natalie? Oh, awesome. Yay. All right. Well, then join us in the reunion. I couldn't remember what event you were on, Angie. But you should join us for the reunion in October. Or you could come back and do it again if you want to take the next level of where they are. Make sure you're doing the exercises that I gave you, the writing exercises, the practices, because it takes consistency to build a really strong, clear communication, so you can ask more in-depth and detailed questions of them, and so that their more detailed communication can get through to you better. There is no limit to the bond and the clear communication you can have with non-physical, with your spirit guides, especially. So I had a girl last week who said, oh, I've been doing the journaling for spirit guides that you said, and it's not working. So I stopped because I couldn't understand, if it was them or me. Well, I kind of scolded her. I totally scolded her online. You could listen to the broadcast last week, Angels in Action. I'm like, don't stop. You can't stop. The whole point is you have to make this a practice. You have to make the unfamiliar familiar. You guys come on here and you want guidance and wisdom and readings from non-physical. And I'm not trying to be a bitch. I cannot emphasize this strongly enough. If you want to understand or connect with the other side, you have to be willing to let go of the perspective of the side you are on. Does that make sense? If you want to connect with your spirit guides or your angels or your higher self or transform anything, you have to understand that the reality is entirely different. It's not like anything you can even imagine. So you have to be, I know you guys think you're open to this, but you have to be open in a way that you don't realize you can be open, because they are coming at it from a totally different perspective, and they have to, or they can't assist you, right? So you have to be open to a whole new world. So when I do meet your spirit guides, I'm literally introducing you to an entirely new reality that, just like learning a language, if you don't implement it every single day and make it your norm, the amazing things that can come through can't. Okay. And you might be, Angie, you might be doing that. I mean, you're on here today asking for guidance from your hamster. And I think that's very powerful guidance that the hamster gave you. Okay. I love that. Let's see here. Anne Marie, I'm so glad you're here too. Thank you for joining us. All right, let me star yours. I'm taking way too long on all these today. I'm like, I guess I'm slow today. All right. I love Angie. She's great. I did love having you in there, Angie. I did remember you were on an event. I just couldn't remember which one. I do lots of events. You would actually be great. I remember thinking this, you'd be great in my Awakening Your Intuition program to really develop these things. Your energy is amazing. All right, this makes sense. As a child, I spent a lot of time in nature. I'm going to talk with her about getting another small pet. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. You really should just, take her and let her meet a few. I think that rabbits can, if you haven't had rabbits before, they can be they're very, very delicate. Believe it or not, horses are very delicate too. And rabbits are like horses. They have very similar digestive systems. They're actually very fragile creatures to keep alive. One wrong thing and they can bite the dust. So you got to just, I probably would pick, a hamster's good. A guinea pig is great. I think guinea pigs tend to live a few more years than a hamster. An elderly cat rescue. Yes, you're right, Debbie. Debbie said rats are gentle and clean animals. Yes, they are. You're right. Rats are amazing. Amazing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Debbie. Thank you for that. Because the thing about the rats too is that they are very, very loyal, like dogs, and they're very, very cuddly. Only they don't necessarily get up and walk away as much as a cat does. But they are really sensitive to what their people are feeling or other animals, and they try to be they're very empathetic. So that actually might be a really good choice. Plus, they're super fun. You can get a hamster wheel for them and everything. So thank you for that, Debbie. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Yes, definitely do that, Angie. Please keep me posted and let me know how that goes. And thank you for letting me read for that. Anne Marie, yeah, that was, yep, you did. You got scolded. That's right. I wanted you to remember, but you remember, don't you? You're going to keep writing now, Anne Marie. Sorry, guys. That's just how I get. All right. Let's see. So, Allison, I could bring your mom Debbie through, but I am not doing that today. I'm doing only non-human animals because they usually get pushed to the side. So I need one day a week where I'm doing a broadcast that is only dedicated to non-human animals, because otherwise everybody comes in and wants mediumship and psychic readings about their life and their relationships. And we really need to focus on animals. So I would love to read for you. I recommend that you either pay to join the angel party, which is only $30 on the 31st, and get a semi-private small group reading that I'm hosting on the 31st. That's pinned to the top of my page. Or if you just want something free, it's less in depth, but I have Angels in Actions on Monday with Susie Antara. I'm hoping she's going to be there Monday. And then Monday and Tuesday, I read in Veronica's group. So I've got free readings all week. And Debbie can hear you, Allison. Just keep talking to her. Keep talking to her and pay attention and practice what you're getting back. And then when you come for a free reading, let me know and we'll connect with her then. But today is only for non-human animals, okay? Let's see here. All right. She also loves horses and wants to do horseback riding. Maybe we get her in that. Of course, how old is she, Angie? She's older than 6, right? She likes 7 or 8. Let me know if she's between 7 and 10. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can start writing when you're much younger. 12. Okay. All right. The number 12 popped up too, but energetically, I was getting a younger age. So that might be because of some of the things that she's working through. It might be that emotionally she's got a younger age energy going on there, because I saw 7 or 8 and then they popped in 9 or 10 and then I saw the number 12, but I disregarded 12. So I think what they were trying to show me was, I'm asking them inside conversation now. Let's see. I'm assuming that, okay, they're trying to tell me some aspects of her right now are like the needs of a 7 and 8-year-old, and some are the needs of a 9 and 10-year-old is what they're showing me. And then her actual age was 12. So I ask you before I ask them, and so that's why. That's okay. This is how it works when you talk with spirit. So that's great. Thank you for that. All right. You're welcome. Hedrick says you're welcome. She's all excited. No, that's great. And keep in mind that Hedwig created and held a space for your daughter to get another beloved furry family member. Okay. So Hedwig won't mind that at all. Hedwig wants another non-human animal to take over her special job. Okay. So you guys will find just the right match. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. Got to get to Debbie and let's see, Allison. Oh, she recently lost her dog, Axel, unexpectedly. Okay. Got it. I see this one, Allison. Got it. Okay. Let's see here. Let me scroll back down. We'll get to you too, Anne Marie. So I guess Debbie's feeling a little sarcastic today. Debbie says apparently Axel was a human. I'm not surprised. Really? Huh. I don't know, Debbie. She's talking about her dog, but I hadn't seen that comment yet. So that's okay. You guys crack me up. All right, so let's go back up here. You guys have to understand that I don't see all the comments. They don't all pop up always in order. So I am just responding to the comments that I see in order, okay? So, thank you for being patient while I catch up. I don't always know what's going on until after I see what you've read here, what you've written. So let's see here. All right. So let me go back to Allison. Angie, I do want to say, I do just want to say this because I have 4 horses. Absolutely. Sure. You could do horseback riding. Just make sure you find a place where they're kind to the horses. They're not always. People that don't know horses will go and think that they are, and they're really not. Just go make sure, you do your research and find good places. Make sure that they are safe horses, because I've known horse therapy places and even horseback riding places where the horses should not have been used for that, and the wrong people were put on them, and it really was not safe. If you are not a horse person, you would not know this. Okay. So just make sure it's safe. Make sure she wears a helmet. Make sure to find someone that's a great match. Somewhere where I have people that just come out to the barn and groom my horses for me. It's work for me too, but they'll want to come out and they want to come and spend time with the horses because it's so healing. Horses are very healing. So just be cautious in that. But yeah, absolutely. That's totally a good option for her. All right. We'll get to you, Anne Marie. I'm going to get down here to Allison now and Axel. Let's see. And her mom, Debbie. Okay. I didn't realize that Debbie, that you guys were connected. Let's see here. So let me go back up and we'll do Axel. Let's see. Let me do this 2 here. I'm very spiritual and I'm very in tune with the other side. I just lost my boyfriend. Now, see, I hadn't read all this yet, Debbie. I hadn't even read all this yet. So because I'm very thorough and I'm answering other people's questions, now I can see this. So let's see. I just lost my boy 3 months ago and I know he's around me. I just want a confirmation. Awesome. All right. So let's do that. Yes, he was non-human. He was. Okay. So, hey, Nejin, welcome. All right. So, hi, Paul. All right. I love the little the little animal emojis, Lisa Joe. That's awesome. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're going through that loss of an animal, Debbie. I know that is super tough. And I feel like when non-human animals pass is at least as difficult, if not more sometimes, than when our humans pass. See, guys, I don't always see these things till later. Like Najin, I just saw you. Right? Like, what time is it? It's 3:37. You said hi a half an hour ago. And I've scrolled up and down at least a dozen times, and just now yours is coming in. So just be patient with me, guys. If you think I've seen something and I haven't, that you think I've seen something, chances are if I'm responding in a weird way or incorrectly, I have not seen your comment. Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything else, Debbie, in your comments. Let's see here. All right. And then Allison trying to chime in and help here. Okay. So, Debbie, I think that you need to know, first of all, and you may have heard me say this before, but I think it's exceedingly important. We'll get to you, Anne Marie. I think it's exceedingly important that, thank you, Paul. Have a good weekend. I think it's important that you guys know, and this is very difficult for us humans, but humans and animals, we do choose when we go. We've chosen that in non-physical, and we can change that choice while we're here. We can actually change that choice. Sometimes we need to, because sometimes the choices that some of us make once we're here do change a little bit. Wait, I got to show you guys this. Look how they're cuddled up now. You guys see that? They're cuddled up together. Gray loves Jackie. Jackie. They all love Jackie. All right. But anyway, she's like the big sister of the group, the little mama. So Axel is, now let me ask you this. Was there another, good, I'm glad you know this, Debbie. Was there another dog that Axel knew and was close to here in this world that passed? Axel's actually with a lot of dogs. And I also see silhouettes and figures of other family members, which is not uncommon. When our non-human animals pass, they go to the same heaven that we do. Okay. And they are with our human family members as well. And they're also with non-human family members that you might not even know or remember that belong to relatives and things like that, because they all go together. It wouldn't be heaven if they weren't, right? So Axel is with another, well, there are lots of other dogs, but there's another dog that's stepping forward that they're wanting to use for validation. That looks like, this dog looks smaller, like quite a bit smaller, like maybe half the size. Debbie, was there another dog in either in Axel's life with you, or like from your past that you had, because he's showing up with another dog there. Let's see. I don't have a list, Anne Marie. I'm just starring people and going where Spirit's guiding me. So I will get back to you, okay? Not from now? Okay. Well, he's there with a whole bunch of dog and animal energies. The other thing is that I think this is neat because when each of us pass, it's a very different experience. Axel actually, see here. Axel had a whole pack come to receive him. A whole pack came to greet him. This is actually very cool. This happened for my Jack Russell Max as well. My mom and I actually heard the pack about 10 days before he passed. 7 to 10 days they came and visited. We could hear it with our clairaudience. We could both hear it, my mom and I. And he was declining. And the morning that when he passed, we heard them come that night. And then the next morning, he actually returned. They were circling my house. The pack was running around my house once Max had crossed over. So I think this is really cool. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. So please know that Axel was actually very excited to get back on the other side, even though he loved and missed you all, as soon as he crossed over. And this whole pack came to get him. Let's see. There was also there were angels that came to greet him as well, because the non-human animals do also have angelic energies that come and embrace them. He had like a huge greeting party. They don't always. Sometimes the non-human animal souls, the beings always greet them like they do us, but it's not always this huge entourage like for humans. And it depends on the soul, because non-human animals have souls. But a lot of it is that as human beings, when we transition, we have this egoic veil that is lifted off of us. And so when we have our angels and spirit guides and souls that we recognize, that's a very important part of our transition, because we need that. Non-human animals don't always need that. So like with Axel, it's not that he needed it. They were just excited in there and greeted him, right? But they don't have that egoic veil to get out from under. So it's like Axel was here and then he's there. Yeah, I'm back. Oh, look at me. I feel great. I feel better than ever. Like, running, bouncing, jumping. That's typically what they do. Or they go, ooh, like I had a dog, when she left her body, she was like, oh, this is great. So they all have this wonderful reaction and this sense of freedom, because your body feels like a wetsuit. It would be like right now, if I were to hand you a sopping wet, heavy wetsuit, and I said, you're nice and dry and clean, and I said, here, put this wetsuit on, you'd be like, oh God, right? So I'm starting your message, Lisa Joe. I know you've wanted to talk to Prince. So that is what happened to Axel. But Axel had this huge entourage, this whole pack that he runs with on the other side, angels. And then in the back, there's sort of another, there's like a warm, motherly female figure that was there. Also greet and embrace him. She actually like squatted down and put her arms out, and then it was like, come here, baby. And he ran, just absolutely like just jumped up on her, and she like grabbed him. He basically like leapt into her arms and was licking her all over. And then there are a couple other figures in the back. It looked like an older gentleman maybe in the back, and another lady who looked like she was younger than the first one. The first one is like a motherly figure. Let's see, on the other side. And that figure is saying, we've got him. We got him. We had his back. We were there. And so he was definitely not alone, felt very welcomed and embraced. And let me see what messages he has specifically for you, Debbie. Let me see if I've missed any comments here, guys. Let's see. Oh, yay. Debbie says he's with my mom. Oh, yes. Yes, he is. Okay, so that's the motherly figure that I'm sensing there. Okay, excellent. That's good. And then let's see. You're here. I know you're there. I was just checking to see if there were any other questions or comments on what I said. So let's see. So please know, Debbie, that he was your loyal companion, and you know that, and he knows that. And he loved being here with you. He said you made it fun. You always had something fun and exciting that you guys could do together. And he always looked up to you to lead what was going to happen that day. He's showing me, now let me try to get this straight. Which is what he's showing me. You have things in memory of him, but he says you're thinking of other things you could have had. So I don't know if you took fur but didn't get a paw print, or you have a paw print but didn't get fur, or there's, I know you were saying it was unexpected, but what he's showing me is that it has crossed your mind, what else to maintain his memory and to feel close to him. What you have versus what you don't have. That's the sense of what I'm getting from him. And he wants you to know that he doesn't care about his body or any of that anymore, but he cares about how you find your peace with missing him here in the physical world. And that's exactly how he's saying it. He cares about how you find your peace with missing him here in the spiritual world, in the physical world. Okay. He says, you two chose to come together. You chose exactly when he'd come into your life, and you had that sacred time together. And he will definitely be one of the ones there to greet you when you cross over. He said he carved out this very special and sacred place in your life, in your heart, in your energy, for a sacred animal soul to be present with you. And one of the things that's important for you, Debbie, as you were describing yourself as spiritual, is that dogs ground us. And so it's actually, hi, Michelle Olivier. It's actually very important for you to have that dog energy, because it helps balance out. When you've got a foot in each world, it helps you to balance your energies out and keep you grounded, help you translate and interpret better what you pick up from non-physical, to balance the energies and keep you well in the physical world right now. So it is his hope that when you feel ready, and what he's showing me is that you're not going to have to go out and looking, that you welcome, there's, he said there's another dog presence in your energy field in the world that will come into your life. And he's encouraging you to embrace that. Okay. He's encouraging you to embrace that, because he says at this point in your life's journey, where you are going more in depth with your getting in touch with the observer behind your thoughts, as Eckhart Tolle talks about it, your eternal conscious soul. That is really what you're talking about when you're saying that you're spiritual. As you're taking that more in depth, there's a greater separation between the world, the physical human world reality, and real reality, right? Of non-physical consciousness. And he said it's so important that you have a dog to help bridge those two for you energetically. So he encourages you to please embrace the dog that wants to come into your life. When a dog shows up and wants or needs to come into your life, to please embrace that, because he says that's an extension of what you and he started. It's very important. All right, let's see. I have the paw and nose prints. I never heard of a nose print. Okay, that's probably the other thing he was trying to show me. I couldn't understand what he was saying. Okay, because I saw a paw print and I saw fur, and he was trying to show me that you had one but not the other, and I couldn't tell which one was one and what was not, and which one you had. Let's see. You have the remains. Yes, I see that. I haven't gotten a colored picture yet, just black and white. Okay, awesome. Well, again, what's most important to him is that you are at peace with it, and he's sorry that it was unexpected, but he says it was best that way. It was best to happen that way. Okay. So please know he's there and he loves you. He can hear you. You're doing a great job of connecting with him. And he wants you to continue on the depth of your spiritual journey. Just make sure that you maintain that balance, because he reminds us it all needs to be applicable on this side in a practical way. Okay. He said you're doing amazing at that. I love that you and Allison were both here for this visitation. Now, before we move on, Debbie, I know I've got a few other people who want readings here. So let's see. Oh, I'm looking to see if Marisha's a troll. I don't know, Marisha. We'll see about you. Yeah, you're offering me readings. Okay. Let's take care of Marisha here. Get rid of her. That's one less person I got to read for, guys. I can spend more time on you guys. All right. There we go. What's my zodiac sign? Right. Okay. So, Debbie, I want you to know how you can connect even more in depth to Debbie. He comes with you, like when you are going somewhere and you're going to go do something and you're walking out the door, like you're going to go for a walk or you're going to head somewhere where you used to take him. He's right there. He's like, boom, I show up to say hey, because he figures it's going to be easier for you to feel and sense and recognize him when you're doing the things that you used to do with him, where he is. This is pretty cool on his part, because he says he knows you'll already be thinking about him. Okay. And so he's like, I'm just doing the same things I always did. He said, I'm trotting next to you, looking up at you, full of enthusiasm. And I want you to feel that. He goes, because I'm still present with you. Don't forget, Debbie, our relationships have they've never ended. They just transform, right? So the more you interact and talk with him, the stronger his presence will be. And he loves you so much. He wants to thank you for asking about him, and for not just remembering him because you miss him and you love him, but because you really respected him. And he was very pleased and honored to be with a human that loved and respected him. And he says, treated me like an equal and even looked up to me. He says he felt that you even looked up to him. And that was a real honor for him as well. Okay. But he says he knows you're going to do fine. And moving forward, as I leave you with him, Debbie, please know that you're going to have even a stronger connection with him now. So, yeah, took me 3 months. Yeah, it was good. It is good because all that is neurological reprogramming. I can say this because I'm a neurological reprogrammer, right? We have to reprogram ourselves. And honestly, when you allow another dog into your life, it's going to help that healing so much faster because we miss the soul of the animal that has left, right? That has left physical, even though they're still there. But what we don't recognize is that what we're really missing is our egoic self has a story. And whenever we have an animal or a human that leaves this world, this physical world, our egoic story has to completely revamp itself. It has to so the real hardship is that you have to readjust your entire identity. Now that sounds silly, but yes, he's a Doberman. Yep. Very smart, very loyal, very protective, but also very fun. And that's when I said trotting next to you, they have a beautiful trot, and that's what they do. I call it a trot, but it's because I have horses. Anyway, so what makes it so hard to like take that walk without them, that type of thing, go places where you've been with them before, whether it be non-human animals or not, it's because our ego identified us as having them there in our life. And humans don't like change. It's very painful for us. So that's part of what's happening there, why it's so difficult. And the best thing you could do was get back out there and walk. And just please know that he's got, there will be more dog energy available to you coming into your life. Okay. Yes. I agree with you, Debbie, about the, I'll say this and then I'll move on. But I want you to know that he has, thank you, Ann Manfield. Happy Furball Friday. He does have a soul that is very evolved. And he does have a, I don't know, what do I want to say it? I mean, it's a dog soul, but it's also not a dog soul. He's got a very magical soul and he enjoys taking the form of a dog, but his soul is also expanded beyond just a dog soul. I don't mean just in a condescending way. It's very difficult to explain, but you are right about that. Yes. Yes. And he did interact with you and understand and communicate so much like he was like a human. So I think that's really cool. He also meets you in the astral plane. Know that like I said, he tries to get through to you when you're doing the things you guys did together. He goes up, his energy likes to press right against your side, like against your hip, and look up at you. Or he'll come and stand right in front of you. So if you feel or sense an energy in front of you, he shows me that he stands far enough in front of you that you can look out. He's right there. Like you couldn't necessarily like reach out and just touch him, but he's just like that perfect distance away to be right in your line of sight. And he says he knows exactly what that line of sight was. Okay. So really amazing, beautiful, beautiful dog. So thank you for letting me share with you. Okay. Read for you. And keep me posted on how this goes. Let's see here. Yes, very smart. All right. So Debbie and Allison, thank you. I love connecting with non-human animal souls, and Axel is just awesome. Okay. So let's go back up to the next one that I saw and starred. Yay. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm just scrolling down here. All right. I have a German Shepherd Cross from Cyprus, and her name is Amy, who is with me. Hi, Amy. Welcome, Amy. I'm glad I went back, Anne Marie, and read this message. I saw your message, but I hadn't read it. So I got very confused when I saw you say Amy was with you in a lower message. So I had to scroll back up to find out what it was. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, so I don't have a list, Anne Marie. I just star them. Like I said, I'm just starring them. That's a really good question. It is, I guess, kind of like a list, but I'm just starring so that I don't lose certain messages where Spirit has guided me. Hold on, I'm just making sure I don't miss anything here. I love we have a couple people from Canada today. That was so awesome. All right, we'll get back to you, Lisa Jo and Michelle and Marie. You're still here with Amy. That's what you meant. I was like, oh, what does that mean? Okay. Love it. Okay. And Michelle, I would have missed hers if I hadn't scrolled back up. Gertie. Okay, let me star that. All right. Let's see. Anne Marie says, let's see. I also do have another dog in spirit who had a very tragic death years ago. His name is Ollie, but I do have Amy with me here on Earth. Okay. Welcome, Amy. Good to have you join us. Let's see. Anne Marie, you're welcome, Allison. Let's see. Anne Marie, so you have Amy there with you? You said you've got Amy there with you. Would you like to let's see, I don't even know if I can do this. Let me see if I can even do this. Would you like to let Amy pop up on the screen and say hi to us? You don't have to, but if you have her there, let's see, Debbie says, I used to ask him if he was a human. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can see why you did that, Debbie. That's awesome. I can totally get that from him. Hi, Nikki. Hello. Nikki, we're doing non-human animal wisdom and everything today. Wisdom and readings and guidance. Let's see. So Anne Marie, let me know if you want to let Amy join us live on the screen. Let me know and I can invite her on. Let's see. Let's connect to Ollie and see how Amy is. Hi, John. Welcome. She's not good at keeping still. That's okay. That's fine. She doesn't have to keep still. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can invite you on here. We'll try this out and see if it works. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try. You might also be able to request it, Anne Marie. We'll see how that works. So Ollie is just fine. Ollie wants you to know that I'm copying this and I'm going to try to send this to you through Messenger. Okay, Anne Marie? Actually, here, I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to see if I can, we'll see if this works, Anne Marie, okay? We'll see if this works. If you can get this, I'm going to put it in the comments. If you grab that, Anne Marie, and hit on that, I think that should let you, hopefully that'll let you in. Okay, that's fine. I just sent you one. I'm going to send you one Messenger too. So Ollie is showing me that you still have some trauma based on his passing and what he, you struggled and suffered seeing him struggling and suffering as well. And he says, actually, that's very, he said that was actually very traumatic. And the thing is, Anne Marie, is that you are still struggling with that, whereas he has moved on. Here, I sent it to you on Messenger too, okay? You're still struggling. he's moved on, but you're still struggling. And he doesn't want you to be doing that. He doesn't want you to be struggling and suffering. Okay. He wants you to know that he's perfectly fine and that tragic things happen, but he wants you to know that it's only tragic here. There she is. It worked. All right, guys, let's see Amy. Oh, goodness. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Oh, my God. She's so sweet. How beautiful. Look at those sweet eyes. Can you guys see that? The rest of the audience? Her sweet eyes. Oh, my gosh. You can just see it. She's not even looking at me, and you can see it. It's okay that they don't hold still. It's wonderful. She's gorgeous. I remember her from the Meet Your Spirit Guides.
Yeah, she was doing the same thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. But this is fun to be able to do this on here. So we can talk about Ollie at the same time. You know, Amy is very sensitive to all types of energies, and she picks up on a lot, and she does a lot. She filters out a lot. She actually filters out a lot for you. And it's really good that you have this dog energy, because just like I was telling Debbie, you have enough of your awareness in non-physical that it's very important for you to have a dog, at least one, to really ground you, because she's a really grounding factor for you. And at the same time, she's really neat because she takes in a lot and she processes. So she takes in a lot that you're processing, a lot of feelings and emotions and energy that you deal with. She actually takes a lot of that on and she grounds it and she makes it workable and dealable. And that's a huge job. I mean, for those of you listening, like, that's no small job. The work they do for us is huge. So, you know, kudos to her. She's got a busy job. So when you guys see your dog sack out and they're just like, you know, understand they're doing all types of work that they don't even necessarily realize is a dog they're doing.
Yeah, he does sleep a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. But while they're sleeping, they can go in the astral plane too. I mean, they're free and enjoying another form of reality as well. So anyway, she's amazing. Now, okay, so what Ollie says, now was Ollie the one that was dark? Was he also dark?
He was like a mousy brown.
Okay, because the dog that's coming in is dark. Did you have another black dog? A really dark dog?
Yeah, years ago, when I was younger. Her name was Charlie.
And he was what?
Her name was Charlie.
Charlie.
When I was a little girl.
Well, Charlie's there too. Charlie actually came first because Ollie was talking to me, but Charlie was showing up for me. So I was getting a message from one and I was getting an image from another. Okay.
Oh,
so yeah, so they're there together. Actually, I just have such chills. Those chills tell me that's them thanking me. That's confirmation that that's something huge they wanted you to know, that they're together. Okay. And Charlie was there to greet Ollie. Their souls knew each other. So you in this lifetime, it looks as though, from what I can see right now, all the dogs that you have and will have are a part of your soul family. And
that's amazing.
It is amazing. And they're telling me why. And I'm getting such chills, it brings tears to my eyes, because again, the chills are validation that this is something they've wanted you to know, they think is important. But it's because they're like, you really needed that. You need non-human energy to hold you close, to encircle you. And your souls lined them up so that you'd have one after the other. And they said it had to be part of your soul family so that they could resonate with you vibrationally, so that your soul recognized their soul and you could feel the deep bond that you actually need to feel with them, so that your souls shared cosmic memory. So even though you don't know you're having these communications, you're actually having soul conversations with Amy all the time and with your dogs on the other side. And so when they're here, you have these soul conversations. And I just have such big chills. Like, they're so excited on the other side. They're so grateful on the other side to be able to share this. And like, this is new to me too. They share these. I've never had dogs share this with me. So when they come through and they share this stuff, I'm in as much a shock as you are. I'm just sharing what they're showing me, which is awesome. Oh my God. So they set you up for success, knowing that you'd need this. And you know, Ollie just says it has to be members of your soul family that come to be your dogs.
Yeah.
And they volunteered. And right now she's the one. How your canine soul family is titling it is they're saying she's the one on duty right now. That's the term they're using. She's the one on duty right now. And look, guys, look how proud and noble she is laying there by your side. I mean, you just don't get any more loyal than that. And
she's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything that has, especially anything that has shepherd in them, you might as well just, that is what they are. You might as well just call them loyalty instead of shepherd. That's just how they are. But, you know, she knows what you're feeling. Every little thing, you know, she's tuned into because she is really here to serve you. I mean, guys, I tear up when I say that because they are. I mean, you have to understand that when humans are our minds are so self-centered. We're so selfish. And we have to dig deep down into that observer behind our thoughts to really get to our true nature, which is not. It's not selfish. And we're being taught we're supposed to be selfish. We're supposed to be selfish. But look at these guys. I mean, non-human animals are mistreated all the time, unappreciated, ignored, you know, reduced to being unintelligent and being its. And the truth is like, you just don't get any more honorable. They're there to serve you. So she's definitely there. So Ollie wants you to know, Ollie and Charlie, they're together. Ollie is fine. Ollie also says, please know that, you know, he wouldn't have come into this world if he didn't know ahead of time that there would be an aspect of that suffering and that journey. And there's something to be learned from that. I'm going to share this with all of you as well, because they're asking me to. Actually, Ollie's asking me to share this. We all try to run away from suffering, but the truth is that suffering forces us to find our light. We are light. We are consciousness. And when we're born into human form, that gets covered up by our mind and our physical body. And whenever we are suffering, it is an opportunity and a gateway to rediscover our light. And so for some of us, it's more intense than others. But just know that Ollie was also here to learn and grow and awaken. And he said through having to deal with his own tragedy, he learned a lot as well as a soul. So just know that he's okay, that ended the moment he passed. And and that, you know, you were the one he chose to be with. That's how he chose to leave the world. And it's okay. You guys you'll all be together. Now, you know, and she knows them. She knows all their souls. They've all passed down the drill and what they're supposed to be doing and what their work is here. So, awesome.
Yeah, I did struggle with his loss a lot.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope you did. When we love them, you know, that's natural. They leave a big empty space in our reality. But just know that he was immediately okay and at peace. And Charlie was immediately there licking him and greeting him. Okay. So just know that they're fine and that they're present with you and they know that you are in good hands. So I think this is cool that this one animal reading and then 2 kind of turned into 3. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Thank
awesome.
you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for being my first live call in on Steamyard, because I want to do more of those actually. So that's very cool. I'm going to let you go, Amy. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. Kisses,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Bye. I just
Bye.
called Amy. I didn't mean to. All right. Let's see here. All right, guys. Awesome. Oh, that was fun. All right. So let me go back up here. All right. Lisa Joe. I'm taking a long time on these guys today. I'm sorry. Let's see. Cat Prince. Let's tune into Prince today. That was so cool having Amy on there. Do you guys like having the live animal on there? That was so cool. All right, so let's see. And we'll get to you, Anne-Marie. I've got you starred too. Oh, sorry, we got to Anne-Marie. Wait. Sorry, wait. I need to unstar that one. I'm going to get to you, Lisa Joe. All right, so. Okay. So, Lisa Joe, let's see here. Prince Harry. Or Harry, sorry. I knew a horse named Prince Harry. Your cat Prince. So, Lisa Joe, did let's make sure we've got the right cat here. Did Prince, was Prince kind of was Prince the skinny one? Aye. Was Prince the lean cat that was sort of small in size? Because the cat that's coming through first right now here for you, and I want to make sure we've got the right soul. He was Harry, but I know. I said Prince. I know a horse named Prince Harry. And so my brain drifted off when I was reading. It said Prince on there. And then I was like, Prince Harry. And then I meant, no, I just meant your cat, Prince. Let's see. So the cat that's coming through right now, let's make sure we've got the right soul, though. So the cat that's coming through right now is sort of a slight built cat. Sort of delicately built, not heavy. Did you have a, Lisa Joe, did you also have a female cat? Let me know in the comments. Because actually, the cat that's coming up first is appearing to be looks like a more of a female cat. It's got a very delicate sort of lean build, and it looks like multicolored, maybe white on her. This is definitely a female cat coming through, Lisa. Yes, his sister Leah. Okay, got it. Did Leah cross over as well? Or is she still with you? So let me go back then and see if Prince will come forward. Sometimes the animal or human soul you're asking to connect with first is not the one that comes through first. Sometimes another soul comes through first, actually. Let's see. So that energy is moving forward. And then let me know. I want to make sure this is the right cat, Lisa. Does Leia have a white on her? And then, so now I'm asking for Prince. Let's see. let's see here. Yes, we got them in the 90s, got me through my teens. I do have a female cat just now, but she is big. Okay, yeah, no, that's not the one that's coming through. The one that's coming through looks like she's in spirit, looks like a female. So I said, "Are you Leah?" And she said yes. She's doing this little strut thing. She's got white on her. So then so Prince looks like he definitely, so he's got more of the male build. He's a little bigger. He's kind of walking in behind her. So this is actually really cute. Prince and Leah were both white. Awesome. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So guys, for those of you listening, if this isn't validation, I don't know what is. Because sometimes people ask me for one animal and somebody else comes in. This happens a lot in non-human animal readings, a lot. And it's really pretty fun, actually. But yes, so she's strutting, and she strutted in first. So here's what happened when I asked Prince to come in. I asked for Prince. Leah strutted in first. She was the cat that showed up first for me to see. And she just strutted beautiful. And then now he's coming up behind, and I can see where they're siblings, but he's definitely got the bigger build. Because when she was strutting in, I could tell, I was like, wait a minute, this looks like a female built cat. Like, this is definitely a girl. And she says that she liked to go first. And Prince is like, yeah, she likes to go first. So I always let her go first. Yeah, she strutted. Awesome. All right. He was an amazing uncle to Leah's kittens. Yes. Yes. Well, so Prince saw himself, and still does, kind of as Leah's. He doesn't think of himself as being any less just because he'll let her go first. And just because she likes to strut in front, like, he's like, look, I liked letting her steal the show. I liked letting her think she was the leader. I liked letting her act like she was the boss, because he said to me, it didn't matter. She wasn't really the boss of me. She wasn't really the one that had to be the leader. He's like, I'm the one that was really looking out for everyone, protecting everyone, and backing her up to make sure she was okay. He goes, so he had, what a giving cat he was. What a giving soul. He just was fine and happy with letting her take the lead as long as she was happy, and just being in the background to make sure everything went well and that she was safe and happy, and enjoying watching her be the leader. Now, if that is not altruistic, I don't know what is, but that is absolutely freaking adorable. I love him. He's got a very different shape. Like, I mean, I can tell they're siblings, but he has a different size and shape, face and head and that kind of stuff. You know, they definitely have some details about them that are different. But he kind of shows me, he's kind of like strolling in, strutting like slower, kind of behind her, where she's kind of like, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm chill, I'm cool, whatever, I got all this. And that's really awesome. I love to see their personality difference there. They're fine, they're together. They had a blast living with you, and they're having a blast now. Let's see. Yes, I see the mane. Yes, he is absolutely freaking adorable. Adorable. And he also says, he's like, I was the cuddly one. He's like, I was the one that was more cuddly. You could, cuddle her or pet her, and then when she was done, she was off. He's like, but I was really the cuddly one. Oh, sorry, guys. Yawning, I'm tired. But this is amazing. But they're there with you, Lisa Joe. So I am going to leave them with you. Know that they're there. Know that they love you. The cat you have right now is amazing too. She had a beauty spot on her nose. How amazing. Well, she knew it too, because she really liked to show off, and she loved attention. Loved attention. So I love that they're there together. I think that's beautiful. know that we've had this connection, so they're going to actually be easier for you to connect with now as well. They're going to be much easier for you to connect with. And let's see here. Let me check and see what time it is. Let's see. So you don't know where Cleo came from. Okay. Let's see. And then, guys, I'm going to get to the last few of you that read something. I've got to speed this up a little because I've really gone slow today. I had so much coming through and so many details for me. This went way longer than I wanted. Let's see. Would you be able to tell me where Cleo came from? Okay. So did you get Cleo from a shelter, Lisa Jo? She turned up in the garden as a bigger kitten. Okay. All right. Well, so let me tell you what I was picking up from her then. Okay. And that's why I asked you if you got her from a shelter, because I only had a second to ask where she came from before you commented. And what I saw is that she was a stray, and I saw that she was born as a stray. And so her mother was somewhere actually in your neighborhood, where you found her in the garden. And there's actually stray cats running around your neighborhood that are her siblings or are her relatives, even if they weren't from the same litter. Okay. So that's how you ended up with her. She was actually a stray. And, people really, I don't like it when they use the term feral cat, because there really is a big difference. A lot of feral cats can actually become the best house cats ever. I personally do not believe that your cat should be running around outside. They are an invasive species. They kill birds and other wildlife that they're not supposed to be, and it messes up the food chain. Not only that, it is exceedingly dangerous for our cats to be outside. They can get diseases. They can get feline leukemia. They can get kitty HIV just by being in contact with other cats that have it. They can get hit by cars. They can be picked up by hawks. They can be killed and picked up by owls. They can be killed by zucchinis. They can be killed by coyotes. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. And I'll be with you in a minute. So they really do not belong outdoors. If you guys see stray cats and you can catch them and get them fixed, if they're not liable to go into a home, if they would not make good indoor cats, which some cats wouldn't, you just don't know it, then please just take them to one of those free or low cost shelters, have them fixed. They'll clip their ear. But when the cats are born in the wild, these domesticated cats, they don't have good lives. They really don't. I mean, they're always in danger. They're a prey animal as well as a predator. They get diseases. They have a lot of struggling and suffering physically. They get all sorts of viral infections and things like that they don't get treated for. So Cleo took over the house, yes, as she should have. But so the thing with Cleo is Cleo came from a stray there in the neighborhood. Like I said, she has relatives all over the neighborhood. A lot of cats know a good thing when they see it, and they'll start showing up, and then they will be receptive to your interaction with that, and you're able to take them in. And that's what Cleo did. Cleo loves that. Cleo is absolutely very happy there and wanted to live with you and be a house cat. So that worked out perfectly. So Lisa Jo, I'm going to let you go with that. And with Leah and Prince. And they all love you. Thank you for giving Cleo such a beautiful home. I loved reading for you. Okay, we still have to get to Anne. Joanne, you will absolutely be my last one because I've already been on here over 2 hours. And I have to get on to Michelle. If Michelle is still here, I've got 1, 2. We did Lisa Jo. What a wonderful reading there. All right. We did Anne Marie. All right. So we've got 3 left. I'll have to be more efficient, guys, because I've got to get off and eat at some point. I've been doing this for 2 hours now, over 2 hours. All right. I'm slow today. All right. So what we're going to do is, all right. So we're going to do Michelle next. Guys, hang on with me. Give me just a moment. I will be right back. I need to check on one of my critters. Give me just a minute, please. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. All right. I only lost one person during that time. Wow. Thank you for sticking with me. All right. Sorry, but I had to go check on one of my critters. All right. So let's see. Michelle, are you still there? I know, guys, I've been so slow today that it's taken me forever to get to you guys. I'm not usually this slow on here. Spirit is like, keep moving. Why are you so slow? All right. So let's see here. You're welcome, Lisa Joe. All right. All right. Let's see if Michelle might have logged off. This is taking me so long. All right. We'll come back to Michelle if Michelle is there. Let's see. Ann Manfield, are you still there? Let's see. Yeah, it was so long. She probably had to get off. Let's see. I've taken so freaking long. All right. Ann, what about you? Are you on? Let's see. Let's see if Ann is here. Somebody said they're here. Somebody popped on. Ann is. Okay, awesome. I felt like you were here. Okay. All right. I now have my daughter's 2 cats who are brothers. Yay. One of them is very vocal, and I have a conversation with him. It's comical how he answers me. I know. Isn't that great? I love when they do that, especially when it's to do with meal times. Oh, yes. They are both beautiful souls. Do they miss their mom, and are they happy to be with me? Oh, what a great question. Absolutely. So they are happy to be with you. They miss her, but there's a few really good things going here for them that they have as well. And I have found this in my own personal life with non-human animals too, that they really see and recognize genetic relations or family members that do things the same way, right? So for example, when I leave for the day, if my husband's home or vice versa, the dogs feel they miss me, but they're safe and comfortable and happy because the familiarity is with both of us, right? They are just as at home and comfortable with both of us, even if they miss the one that's gone. Okay. The other thing I find is like with my mother and I, my mom was usually the one that always we watched each other's animals. So if I were to go out of town, when I was living alone, I had 4 dogs and 5 cats, or 5 dogs and 5 cats. My mom would come and stay with them and watch my animals, or they would go to her house, because my mom and I speak a lot the same. Like we're similar because we're similar genetically. And so even though we both know, like she knew my animals so well, she and I did everything pretty much the same way with the animals, and we agreed on all the same things, and we were both into listening to what they had to tell us if a toy went under the couch and they tried to tell us, we both knew it. I didn't like to leave them with pet sitters because the pet sitters didn't get that, right? The relative did, because my mom and I both think the same way. We both connect with what the animal's telling us. So these cats feel that same way. They not only have the familiarity, even though there might be details of things you guys do differently, the familiarity is there, right? And you're like the next closest thing to their mom. So they love that. They feel completely at home with you and they've adjusted great. Let me explain the missing aspect. They do miss her. Our non-human animals do miss us. They do miss each other. But it's a different type of missing. In other words, they have the feeling, they remember them, they think of them, but they don't add it to their egoic story, if that makes sense. We humans take the suffering one step further. They'll miss someone, but we actually cause ourselves to suffer because of it, right? So we'll think things like, oh gosh, I'll never get to sit down and go out to dinner with her again. Oh my goodness, I'll never get to sit in this room with her again. Oh, that was the last Christmas I'm going to get to spend with her. The great thing about non-human animals is they're so present. They don't have that future and past thinking that comes with having an egoic story. So just know, yes, they miss her. Yes, they love her. Yes, their souls are still connected to hers. But they don't cause themselves to suffer. They may look for her and expect or want her to show up. And if she would, they'd be like, woohoo, right? And they recognize her soul. Like they still have that soul connection with her. But as far as physical form goes, they don't torture themselves like you do, right? They don't suffer because of it, because they don't have an egoic story to go with it. And you can only suffer if you have the story. If that makes sense. So I hope that answers your question. They're fabulous. I love their energy. And that's such a beautiful question. Let's see here. I did take care of them. Yeah, while Stacy was away. Yep. Yes, they know you love them. They know you love them. And even if they had never spent time with you before, when you took them on, because you're her mom, there's enough similarities there, they would have still felt at home. Yes. You're welcome. Thank you for the question. And thank you for your patience. Guys, I'm sorry. When I do readings, I'm overly thorough, and it's really not good, because for free online readings, I really need to get to more people and do the more in-depth stuff for paid readings. That's just how it needs to be, because people get on here and people need the comfort and validation. I lose track of time if I don't really pay close attention when I'm doing readings and things. And so when I'm connecting with spirit, because it's outside of time and space, so I did not do a good job of keeping track of time today. But I'm glad that helped you, Anne. What a wonderful question. All right, so I'm going to ask one more time, and then we'll get to you, Joanne. You'll be our last person here, because I have got to get off, guys. I've got to get off of here. Let's see. I want to go back up and see if Michelle, are you back by any chance? I'm so sorry, because you waited so long for me. And I just was super slow today. Let's see here. I just want to see if Michelle is back by any chance. Michelle, are you there? Let me know if you're there, Michelle. And I don't see her on here yet, so let's see. All right. Hi, Larkin. Raphael rallied last week and started eating and drinking. Wow. But his congestion has been building since Wednesday. He had a massive seizure yesterday afternoon and couldn't get his legs back to work at first. Now he keeps staggering around, confused, like he doesn't. You're sad for him. So Joanne, I have a question for you. Why or when, or are you considering assisting him in crossing over? because I feel like, you know, I'm glad that he's eating and drinking again. However, I don't see this getting any better. I see this only getting worse for him. If he's starting to have seizures and he's now struggling to move around and walk, um, I would recommend that you you know uh, make an appointment to help him cross over, or have visiting angels, or no, visiting angels is for people. It's for care assistants. There's like 3 wonderful places that come into your home. They're a little more expensive, but I would definitely make an appointment, and I would have them help him cross over, because with what he has, this isn't going to get any better. And you want him to go out while he still feels like he has some integrity, and you don't want him to suffer, because this is only going to make him more, he's miserable. So instead of watching him and feeling sad, I would I would honestly, I would sit down with them and offer it to help him cross over. No, he's not, because he can't focus. He feels funny. Everything is a struggle for him. And it's stressing him out because it's scary. So I think I think it's definitely time. I would make an appointment. You don't want to have Sunday come along and you have to go to MedVet. And these things tend to happen on the weekend when you have a medical emergency with a non-human animal. And Raphael is just trying very hard to stay comfortable and to not suffer, and he's scared because he's trying to he's going through his little dying ritual, but he's having to focus on basic things, and it feels really funny. He's uncomfortable. And he's having trouble doing all that because he can't really focus. He's not really thinking clearly. So I would, while he has dignity, and that not that he doesn't. To us, he always does. But I would make an appointment for tomorrow, for as soon as you can. Yes. So what I said last week was that they like to go through the process. The cats have a dying ritual that they go through, and that typically they like to go through that process, but that does not mean you can't assist him. It means that, last week he was at a very different place. Last week he hadn't had the seizure yet. Last week he was feeling different than he is this week. Last week he was focused on going through his ritual. This week he's had a seizure. He's having repercussions from that seizure. I see that as a form of suffering, and from what I'm picking up from him, he is suffering. And so I would ask him and offer him the assistance. And I think you will feel, I always tell people, follow your intuition and what you feel the animal is telling you, and that that you'll know when the time is right. I personally feel from him that time is right, because he spent all last week going through this ritual. He's already gone through the ritual, and he's not through it completely yet because he's still in this world. However, that's what he spent really the last few weeks doing. And if you offer this to him, and then you make an appointment and you take him in and you go through the process that I've shared with you guys in coaching, where you have the conversation and you bless him and pray for him and humbly turn the outcome over to God's source spirit and his angels, and those who watch over him is Raphael. And you let that go and you turn that over to him, and then you just follow your intuition. That's when miracles happen. When you do that, that signals to the animal, also where they are in that transition process. And that allows him then to complete whatever that is that he needs to do, because he's been going through this process for a few weeks already. So, then you offer that to him. And unless you feel a strong resistance of him saying, no, 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 I want to do this on my own, leave me alone, which I don't think he's saying, then he's going to be on board with this. And the timing of his process of letting go of this life, this sacred process that cats go through, he will be able to complete that. Okay. Hi, Venetia. Welcome. Yes, I definitely would. So I know it's a very fragile thing. And when you were on here last week, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. He was still going through that process. But I think that seizure was the breaking point there. Okay. And one of the reasons he was so focused on going through this dying process, this spiritual process cats have last week, is because he wanted to get that done before the seizure. Okay. Whoops. I got to quick plug my computer in. Whew. Sorry, guys. I'm coming. I'll lose you guys. My computer just went on overdrive. And I got to plug it in real quick. I think it's because I'm on here so much longer than usual. And I had a little more than half battery when I started, but I've been on here for like 3 hours. No, 2 hours. 2 hours. Sorry. Feels like 3. Okay. There we go. Whew, okay. We saved us. So yeah, so I hope that clears things up, Joanne. It's difficult. There's a whole process in helping animals to cross over that I teach people. And I've had to go through because I started having to help animals cross over. I just found myself in this situation where all of a sudden I've shared this on other lives with you guys. All of a sudden I was finding myself just walking into friends' houses and people's houses, and their animals were, getting ready to cross over. And I sort of got sucked into this. And I cosmically remembered how this worked. And there's now a process I was guided through to help animals and help their people, help them to cross over. With cats, it is a little different just because they do go through this special sacred process. However, Joanne, you need to ask him. You need to ask his permission. But from what I'm getting from him, he's ready. He's like, I'm ready. I did the process I needed to do. And that process, he's saying, will be complete when you assist him, because he's been working on it for a few weeks. Okay. You're very welcome. That's very important. Whoop, whoop, Venetia. Great to see you. Yes. All right. Let's see. At the vet last night, okay, he looked deeply into my eyes, but the vet acted like it wasn't time, probably because they were about to close. Yep. You hit the nail on the head. That's right. So I am glad, Joanne, that you have a vet that does not just rush the putting them to sleep. A lot of vets they have to sort of detach emotionally from these things. And so a lot of vets will actually kind of push for that. Because they really feel like they're just helping the animal. A lot of them don't understand the cats go through the sacred process, or they'll push people really before the people and the animals have had the time to have that exchange where the person can communicate with the animal and go through the process of asking, is it time? So I think that I would go ahead definitely and make the appointment, because from what Raphael's telling me is I'm ready whenever. So I think, but you go through the process, Joanne. You ask Raphael. He was looking you deeply in your eyes because he would do that anyway, but he was trying to tell you last night he was ready, because he's been ready since he had his seizure, is what I'm seeing. Okay. And I don't take this lightly, Joanne. So I would not tell you this if that's not exactly what he was telling me. I would not tell you that, because I would rather make the mistake the other way and make sure that their soul is like, nope, I'm ready, than to miss a misinterpretation. But he is showing me he's ready. So spend that sacred time with him. When you do it, humble yourself and bless him bless him and pray for, ask for, be thankful for, as though it was already done, the very best outcome. And so here's an example of what to do and what to say. This is what I do. Okay. Yes, that's it right there. You didn't trust yourself. That's right. And guys, this is what my Awakening Your Intuition program is about in September. Learning to trust your intuition. It's a practice. It is a practice. It's going to be a 3-month course, and you're going to learn to do this. This is very important. So here's an example of what I would do, Joanne. Okay. Because I usually give my clients like I'll give them an example or the words. For me personally, I've done this, I can't tell you how many times with animals. I get on my knees. I humble myself. I bow my head. I can feel when you bow to the universe bows back. And I can feel the power of being humbled. When you humble yourself, the whole power of the universe and all the powers that be for that which you are asking and praying for come behind you. And so as I get as close to the ground as I can, I will literally put my whole forehead and nose on the ground and feel my energy go below the earth, below the ground. That is how much I try to humble myself. And I usually, you don't have to, I can do it from a distance. I usually touch the animal, put my hand on their head or their back, wherever they feel it's most honorable. And I thank their guides, their loved ones, their protectors, God, source, spirit, for allowing this beautiful soul to be in this world and for the beautiful life that they've had and for the honor of being their caretaker or the one that's here at the moment with them. I do that first. And then I pray and I say, thank you for the opportunity to be a vehicle of love, light, and healing on behalf of whoever it is I'm praying for, this animal. I ask that they may experience as little struggle and suffering as possible. I ask for, the outcome that allows them for the quickest, most comfortable healing and transition out of struggling and suffering for them. Whether that means, they have a miraculous recovery in physical, or whether that means a transition onto the other side, back into their purest form. I ask at this time, I humbly ask that they are relieved of their struggle and suffering in the most perfect way. And I release all control over this situation. And I have complete and utter faith and trust that the powers that be know best how to handle this. May I please be a vehicle of their healing and their transitioning out of struggle and suffering. And then I release all control. I completely trust and let go of all control of the situation. I let go of the how. I let go of the outcome that I want and need. And I release it so that they know how to carry it out best. They can make it happen way better than I can. And if I let go control, but I allow myself to be that vehicle, they will use me as a vehicle to do exactly what they need for the quickest and very best outcome for that animal. Okay, so that's what you need to do, your own version of that. And really feel yourself let go. And it's scary at first, but you've got to turn that control over to them. And then you have to trust. You have to trust yourself. Okay. And you're the protector. It sounds like with your vet, you don't have to protect them from wanting to put them down too early. But Raphael's ready. And so I would do that and then just bless him. Ask all those powers to be, please bless him. Shower him with blessings and the very best outcome for him so that he may have the least struggle and suffering. And, and a safe, beautiful, easy transition. And then I would call and I would make the appointment for tomorrow because you don't want to be stuck on Sunday with, oh my God, do I have to go to MedVet and pay $1,000 instead of $300? And that sort of thing. Okay, so Joanne, so you'll be fine. Trust yourself. This has always been your issue, Joanne. You got to learn to trust yourself, and the only way you do that is by not sitting back and waiting passively, by taking action. We build confidence through experience. And so if we want change in our lives, we can't just sit around and wait. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm saying this experience for you with Raphael is a good reminder. He's helping you learn to trust yourself, because when we get off of here today, you're still going to have to trust yourself. Okay. Yes, you got it. Awesome. Yay. All right. So thank you for showing up and keeping me posted. All right, guys. So I have got to get off. I never saw Michelle come back on, so she might have to wait till next week. Let's see, Kimmy. I just lost my dog Maddie the other night. I don't quite know why. I hope he's okay. You're welcome, Ann Manfield. So I have to get off, Kimmy, but here's what I'm going to say. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there was something really quick that happened. I'm not sure if it was like an aneurysm or heart attack or something like that, Kimmy. Did he cross over, or did you lose him? Because I'm getting something really, really quick, like really quick pop up. Please let me know, because I'm getting off in 2 minutes. I have to get off. I don't know what you said, and I hope he is. I don't know what hope he is. The vet had to put him down. Okay. All right, good. Okay. By good, I mean, what I was picking up was it was something really super quick. And the super quick I'm getting is that it was some sort of aneurysm or something that happened neurologically that had something to do with blood vessels. That's what he's showing me. And a lot of times we focus on this with humans, but we don't always focus on this. He was flailing. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yes, I think so too. I think it was an aneurysm. Yes, the vet said neurological. Okay. Well, he's obviously there with you, Kimmy, because I immediately tuned into this and he immediately was showing me it was something neurological and super, super quick. I actually think it was an aneurysm that he had. I think that so what I'm seeing is that he would not have recovered from this. You're welcome, Joanne. Love you. He would not have recovered from this, Kimmy. So you did the right thing in putting him down, and he thanks you. Thank you. He says thank you. And he's perfectly fine now, because he would not have recovered. He would have just struggled. You popped on at just the right time, Kimmy. I was just getting off. So, and that was fine. And again, you missed this part, but Kimmy, please know that non-human animals have souls just like we do. And when they cross over, it's always a time that they chose. I know we have these tragedies and all these things, but our souls have free will and we always choose. Okay. You saw a butterfly. Awesome. Yes. He does come to you in butterflies. But he just wanted you to know that it was okay and you did the right thing. And the great part about this is that, it was quick. It wasn't something where you had to suffer, drawn out like Joanne's going through with her cat, right? He was only 8. Yes. So that was the other thing I was going to say is actually his energy, Kimmy, came in about an hour and a half ago when I started this broadcast. And it was a message from a dog saying that he passed away earlier than the lifespan of a dog could have been. But it didn't fit in with any of my other readings. Now I understand why I was on so long. It was for him. Hi, Bernadette. Welcome. We're just getting ready to log off. Good to see you. But so now I understand that. And what I told that soul was, well, if you come out any of these readings, that's fine. Otherwise, come back for me. And evidently he brought you here, Kimmy. So But that's what I came back was this dog came in and said, I was 7 or 8 and I just passed away. And it didn't fit any of the other readings. I've had a lot of people ask questions today. And so I got involved in those readings and sort of put that off to the side. And then you popped up. Okay. You love listening to me. Awesome. That's okay, Bernadette. So evidently, Kimmy, he got you here today. And he wanted to tell you that he was okay, that you did the right thing. He wanted you to know what it was. He says it was neurological. And I strongly believe what he's showing me is that it was an aneurysm. Now, in the future, if you get another dog, which I recommend that you do, because they don't care, they hold a sacred space for another animal. They want you to get another non-human animal. They don't want those spaces empty. You're never replacing them. You don't ever have to worry about that. They hold that sacred space for somebody else. Okay. In the future, have the vets check things like, and you can't always prevent these things, but a lot of times the diets we feed them, the exercise or lack of exercise, things like that. Sometimes we can't help these things, but sometimes a lot of dogs nowadays will end up with aneurysms and things like that. And a lot of times they're having, blood pressure issues and things like that we don't recognize. Okay. Let's see. You have one. I was just going to say, I think you have another dog, don't you already? Let me go back and see here. Let's see. Glad to know he's okay. I loved him so much. Bernadette, if you are wanting to do this Meet Your Spirit Guides event, you're one of the people that says you're interested, but you're not registered. So make sure you actually register, okay? I just wanted to tell you guys that because I have all these people that say they're going or say they're interested, and I'm not sure if they realize you have to register to get the Zoom link. It's only $40 for 2 hours. That's like getting a large pizza somewhere. So just if you want to meet your spirit guides, it's an unbelievable event. You have to actually register. Okay. So make sure you register. Yes. Just go to the link. I've tried to post it all over because I'm afraid what's going to happen is people are going to be messaging me tomorrow. Where are you? Why aren't we live? And so I don't want anyone to miss out on the instructions. But the link is all over. I posted it on the main post and I posted it on the Spirit Guide Saturday event. I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows so they're not disappointed tomorrow morning. All right. Can't wait to see you there, Bernadette. I'm totally psyched. All right. So let's quick do this, Kimmy, and then I'll get off here. You have one? Yes. Let's see. Hit him in March like you told me I would. Oh my God. That's awesome. I love that validation. That is amazing. Spirit is so awesome. Okay. And so you got one. Arlo. Yes. Appointment made for Raphael. Oh my God. Bless you and Raphael, Joanne. Guys, I just want to cry. I feel like we made such a difference in human and non-human animal lives today. Thank you for being on and I just have such chills for allowing Spirit to speak through me so that you could help your animals and you could help yourselves and heal. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all you listeners for that. I'm so grateful. You have no idea. That's why I do this. All right, you're registered now. Perfect, Bernadette. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. All right, so Arlo, Kimmy. Yes, Arlo. So you got your hands full with Arlo. That's fantastic. But I also see, Kimmy, I think this is perfect. And now you can probably see why Spirit advised you to get another dog, to get a dog. Because now, now that you've had one just pass, you still have Arlo. Okay. And I think that that's very powerful, Kimmy. Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I just, that makes me tear up. Anyway, but yes, it was it was an aneurysm, and bless your heart for getting Arlo. And the beautiful thing about this, Kimmy, and then I'll log off, guys. Your dad said that too, Kimmy. That's amazing. I love your dad's energy. The thing that's amazing about this, Kimmy, too, though, is that your dogs, I remember this coming through in the reading when I said to get another dog, and then when you got the dog and we had our reading and you had them there together, Arlo learned so much from your other dog. And they needed that time together. And I remember I told you this last time, their souls planned that. And unbeknownst to you, Arlo was learning so many things to carry on. To carry on the information. And the information, I get such chills sharing this because, again, this is spirit thanking me. This is Arlo and spirit thanking me, saying yes when I get chills, giving me validation. There's so much that they learn from one another. And so much of the information was how you are, how to interpret you and listen listen to you, how to communicate with you, right? So like they'll pass on what they knew to the new dog that is going to be taking over, as I said to Anne Marie a while back about her dog Amy. Maddie shared with Arlo, this is how she receives your love. This is how she interprets when you need to go out or when you don't like something. This is what Kimmy means when she says or does this. When she's kind of upset, this is how she is, and this is how you can help her. But when she's really upset, this is what you got to do. Okay? Yeah, I'm not kidding. This is what they do. And so they're sharing all those things, and they share, okay, like, when we go out, this is what mom wants us to do. They share all those things. So you'll start to notice so much of Maddie coming out in Arlo now that Maddie's not in physical. Oh my God, you're getting this, right? You can see it now. So what'll happen is, this is even happening with my parents lost their 150-pound black German Shepherd a few months ago. And their white cat that has a little black on him has completely taken over the shepherd duties. He wasn't a guard cat before, but once the dog was in the house with them more and he learned from the dog and he spent more time with the dog, now that the German Shepherd is gone, the cat has literally taken over the shepherd's duties, the shepherd's habits, things he never did before. And so Arlo, Maddie said, like, I'm not going to be here very long. I'm not going to be here forever, because she knew. And so, but they're present. And so now when Arlo was ready, Maddie departed, and not a moment before. And so now Arlo is like, oh gosh, you'll notice the personality change. Still Arlo. Now Arlo has the responsibility. Now Arlo is proud to take on. Arlo will take on characteristics that Maddie had that you didn't see in Arlo, because Arlo didn't need to have them. But Arlo is now taking those on for you. Okay. I'm glad you see that. It makes sense. Yes. Let's see. My dad's cat became the other cat once he died. Yes, that's exactly right. And it's because they were connected and they learned from each other. And this is why, guys, when I say it's so important that we bring other animals in. And we bring other animals in even before the last animal we have departed. It's so important because it's a legacy. The animals carry on a legacy for us and for each other and for the embodiment of their souls and their spiritual work and relationships in their life. Kimmy, I love you so much, and I'm so delighted to see you on here. You have no idea. Guys, I've been on 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. I am starving. I have got to get off, but we will be back next Friday. Don't forget, Monday is Angels in Action. Susie should be back with us this week. We do guidance and readings from Spirit, and we answer your metaphysical questions. The Meet Your Spirit Guides is tomorrow. I still have spaces. I cannot believe I still have spaces, but I do. It's only $40 for 2 hours. If you literally want to meet your spirit guides, learn how they communicate with you, learn how to communicate with them. Maybe they'll give you their names. Maybe they'll show themselves to you. Maybe they'll give you validation. They all do a combination of those things in every event. They will validate for you that they are real, and they will give you guidance when we get off of the event as to how to better connect with them, how to prove to you that it's them and not your mind, and how to build a closer, stronger bond so they can help you. They'll even give you validation to research who they are. Okay, it's just it's amazing, and it's unique for every person. But that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. EDT. I'm sorry, 11 a.m. EDT. If you want your spot, you have to register for it. It's pinned to the top of my post, Meet Your Spirit Guides event. Also, if you want a low cost reading, my angel party reading is $30. It's also 2 hours, and it is the 31st of August. You also have to register for that. Very limited spaces because I give everybody a ton of attention. Okay. We have a French troll. I speak French, so too bad for you. I know you're a troll. Okay, so as we get off, so we've got that going on. And then don't forget that I have the Awakening Your Intuition digital and mastermind program starting in September. So if you want to learn to trust your intuition and go through a metaphysical sampler, learn what your clairs are and how to distinguish between your mind and your intuition, it's going to be a totally fun program. And that's going to be in September, but I'm giving half price off that entire program, that 90-day program, if you register in August. All right. You just got trolled twice last week. Yeah, I know they stink, don't they? So anyway, guys, I have a lot going on. So keep an eye on my page. I'm going to be announcing everything. And also I have a group that is for a life before and after death. I will post in the comments if you guys want to join that group. It's just all about before and after death. There is no death. And it's for human and animal souls. And we connect in there. I have so much great stuff, guys, that's coming in September. I'm super psyched about it. But anyway, thank you all so much. I love you. Thank you for your patience. I'll see you next Friday, and I'll see you on Monday or tomorrow in Meet Your Spirit Guides event. I hope you guys will join me there. Good night, everyone. Good luck, Joanne. Bye-bye.